Welcome to Moonlight Madness. Today we're doing the readings for, I've just finished air. I'm putting up one for water because I've got a lot of water in the air chart. So if you have placements in both air and water, I suggest you watch both air and water. So it's saying here that you've got a union coming up. We're using the Fairy Tarot by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine, and we're using the Work Your Light Oracle cards by Rebecca Campbell. So the first card I pulled is the Two of Cups. This is like an engagement or a wedding that's going to take place with you and someone younger. It's talking about a younger water sign crossing your path, which is Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer. They may be younger in age or younger in maturity. They may be quite young at heart, but it's saying they're very gentle, they're very very sensitive because they're very emotional, and it's saying this new relationship's coming up for you. It's an emotional experience. There could be invitations to social events. You may meet them at a social event and then you've become one and you get very heavily involved with them. They are very romantic, they're kind, they like to sit in their garden and admire the scenery, and they may have a whole stack of romance novels at their bed. If they were an Olympic sport medalist, they would be an Olympic medalist winning for all the books that they read. They love to read. They love to read about romance, and they're there for everyone. If you've got to cry on someone's shoulder, they will always be compassionate enough to be there for you, which is good if you've got water heavily placed in your chart. Then we've got here in recent past, you've got the Queen of Autumn, which is someone who's a Capricorn, Virgo, or Virgo, Taurus. So you may have been involved with someone that was very stylish, very practical, loved to cook food, loved their home. They are very practical in respect to how they proceed to make anything more beautiful. And maybe they could have helped to make your dreams come true. They may have seen something in you that they possibly had themselves and developed it into a career. So whether you had your own channel, your own platform like I have trying to build my own channel, maybe they could see your potential as a personality on this platform, and maybe they had new contacts to help propel you forward some way, shape or form. And then in the recent past you may have been involved with a Scorpio, Pisces or Cancer, a mature person who is usually so busy attending to everybody else's needs. It's all those sunflowers, she's trying to get to everyone. She gets emotionally burnt out a lot. She suffers from burnout. She's very intuitive. Listen to your heart, intuitive insights you can trust, taking care of others, perhaps too much. It's telling you that maybe you recently, I'm reading for water, maybe you recently had given out too much and you've suffered from burnout from working too hard, and this is maybe where you had to take some time off for emotional regulating. The next card I pulled is the Prince of Autumn. This is crowning your chart. This is someone who is a Taurus, Virgo or Capricorn, a younger Taurus, Virgo or Capricorn. Someone who's very cautious. See, he's sitting on that leaf and it's moving very slow. He's just letting it glide along. He's not pushing forward. They're dependable, they're protective, they're chivalrous, they're humorous, they're cautious but wise action, meticulous attention to detail and kindness to others. Yeah, they may be very careful, very shy, and they don't jump into things straight away. They want to suss out whether you're who you say you are. They may want to make sure that you're not lying. Maybe they've had people lie to them before or cheat on them, so they're very this two people around you right now. You've got, as I said, a younger earth sign and a younger water sign crossing your path. You have two to pick from, two possible relationships that could go very well. In the future, I've got the Nine of Cups, which I pulled, which is 9 years' time. Sorry, Nine of Pentacles. I pulled this for air sign as well. So in 9 years' time, it says that your business, that your side hustle, which is what I'm doing here, will grow and you'll end up living off the income that you make from an online business. So I pulled out, to ground that energy because it's very earthy, I've pulled out the black onyx because the black onyx is a good grounding stone. I didn't see many other things there, just that it's a grounding stone. And maybe you need to be grounded more because you live in your emotions. Your emotions are very raw right now. I can smell food, but I don't know where it's from. Someone's cooking a barbecue. Princess of Swords. Now this is to do with an inquisitive person. You may have a son or a daughter that's coming into your realm in your chart. You may have recently had a visit from them. They are Aquarius, Gemini, Aquarian star sign. They may be very realistic. They may be truthful, inquisitive, love to fight, they like to argue, they like to debate, they love information. They'll always tell you the truth. You may have to be told things that are difficult to hear. They speak the truth with kindness, and they may be one that likes to picket on the front lawn of Parliament House, and they like to push the envelope by representing themselves in a way that stands up to society. They could be a lawyer. You may have someone that is a lawyer around you, or you yourself might decide to study law because they may have done law at school, like in a debating team. Then you've got around you, who's around you right now, is the Pisces star sign, and it's also talking about being hung up on the wrong end of the stick. You're looking at life from a different perspective. You're looking at it from upside down, the yin and the yang. You're trying to balance out your feminine and male qualities. You may have a lot of feminine qualities, and you may have a lot of male qualities. It's also saying that you maybe have this person around you that's an ascended master. An ascended master, so he's got that halo around his head, is someone that's actually looking after you, but telling you have to embrace this change. You have to change something. You have to cut something out of your life. And it's scary. You're a bit unsure because you've got the Eight of Swords, which is being, you don't believe in yourself. You've only got to jump from that little iceberg to that iceberg, but you feel like it's too big. It's too big of a stretch. It's saying you can do it, but you don't believe in yourself. It's saying you have what it takes if only you believe in yourself, thinking that you're powerless when you're not. A lack of self-confidence that keeps you from getting what you want. It's a mental prison, a self-imposed mental prison. You tell yourself that you're hopeless, and you're not hopeless. You just feel you can't do it. Your goal is to go towards being a water sign. If you're quite emotional, you want to be this solid King of Cups, which I've got the little, what do you call it, shell, because shells represent water. So your emotions may run very deep, and there's an old saying, I think it was Bruce Lee who said, be like water, be fluid. So it's telling you to be more fluid in relationships and people that trigger you, to not let them get to you, don't bait you, because this earth sign I'm picking up for myself is a parent, likes to bait me, so that I yell at them, and then they go, oh, you're crazy. It's not that. They like to tease you so that you explode on them. And I don't waste my time on people like that. And when I do explode on them, they know that they've pushed something too far or said the wrong thing, and they're not going to be spoken to. They'll be just iced out. That's an Aquarian nature. We just cut people off very quickly, very sharply, and very harshly. If we're feeling underappreciated or undervalued or disrespected. So what your true nature is that you're an honourable, devoted person, water signs. You're a romantic partner. You're very defensive around your family and friends. You're very protective of them. You give excellent advice that comes from the heart. You get involved in cultural or creative endeavours. You could be a person that draws or creates YouTube channels. Something with colour is very good for you, because you have to express how you feel, whether it's talking about it, like this is like they call it oration. I think it's called oration. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Where I'm a public speaker and I'm speaking my truth, or what I see as my truth. That's very good for expressing yourself if you have issues of expression, or you've got so much emotion you can't express it, so you draw it, or you play an instrument, or you play music, or you sing it out, you speak out your emotions. Some people are not good at talking about their emotions. But you are right in your emotions, and I think we're in some type of full moon right now. I don't know which moon. I haven't looked up in the other people's natal charts, but I think there's a full moon coming up. I think it's on the 22nd of this month, so we're heading into a full moon. Normally I get these huge downloads on a full moon, and I've had one recently, and it was regarding protecting my boys from past energy, from their great aunt, their mother-in-law's sister-in-law. There's three of them, and apparently they were big on witchcraft, and they used to cast spells, I've got told, because in Nicaragua and Costa Rica there's a big spell. There's a lot of people that do spells over there, and these people claim to be religious, but in fact they were actually doing spells and trying to make life miserable for my mother-in-law when she was young, freshly married to a diplomat. He was the Minister of Health. So she got a lot of awful things said to her and done to her, and I think they played practical jokes on her, and they put spells on her because they didn't like her in the family. They were jealous of her or something. But I got that very strong last night in a vision, because I touched my son's head and did a reading for him. Didn't mean to, I just was reading stuff. picked up that when she was younger, she was harassed and ridiculed, and by these three women. They were trying to come into my house where my kids were, and it showed her coming on my right, which means it's a past vision, saying, I'm here, you don't come past this door, you're not welcome here. These are my grandchildren. I said, they are my children, you're not welcome. I put a hex around the car and they walked away, the three of them walked away. I said, we don't want you in this house, we don't want your help from the other side, and we don't want you around my boys, because you're crossing the path here and I'm not letting you cross through the threshold. It's like telling a vampire they can't come in. It's the same thing. I didn't invite them in, and they knew they couldn't get past me. And then I brought in recruits. I brought in more army through asking Mrs. Rivera's help, and I brought her energy in to protect the boys. So I was looking for backup, and she came to the party, and we both threw them out and said never to come back, and they sped off into the dark. So they're in darkness wherever they are, and they're not coming into my light, not in my world, not in my children's world. So that can also happen when you're that in tune and you're reading someone's aura. And I don't do it with everyone. Sometimes I can't read people because they don't want to be read. They'll tell you, oh, I'd love to get a reading. And they've actually got very religious barriers that stop them from fully releasing their energy to me so I can read them, because they're scared of it. But they don't say they're scared of it. They want to, fear of missing out. They want to be included in your reading. They want to see what you pick up. But really they don't, because their energy doesn't let me in. I can't, like the door, like in that vision. I was blocking their energy from coming in the door. The house is me, and the children are me. We're a unit. I wouldn't let them pass the front door, because I was blocking their path. Big personalities too. One of them had bright yellow scarf on around her, gold jewellery everywhere. She's very vulgar. People with money that are vulgar, they splash it around and they show it off. They don't get nice pieces of jewellery. They get these big ugly things because they think the bigger they are, the more rich they appear to people, right? That sort of thing, vulgar. And she was really in your face and had bright orange lipstick on her, and just looked at her and went, go away. I don't want you in my house. So that was the energy I was picking up yesterday. I did another person's reading. I did a lady, and she's from Sri Lanka, but I haven't picked anything up on her yet because I still had the energy from my son that had to come through first. I might get something for her in the next couple of days, but right now I'm not being shown anything because maybe she's a bit scared of what I do too, It's a big deal. You're young and you're from a different country, and this person tells you that they see the future. That can be a bit off-putting. Can make people feel a bit not mistrustful of you, but on edge, on guard. That is what I got. I think she knows that I can do what I do. She understands, she believes in things, but she's a bit wary as well. So she's a Buddhist, which is great. They do no harm to others. So that's what I have for you. I'm going to pull 2 cards from this deck that I got from Work Your Light by Rebecca Campbell. It's an oracle cards. Got it from Got Your Sister back when I used to go there for counselling for domestic violence. This one I've pulled is the Age of Light. It's a very good card to get. And I got an awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. So you're going to get some upgrades when you're asleep. So nighttime's going to be very busy for you, like I had the vision of the ex-aunts that are no longer on this planet, thank God. But yeah, they tried to come through. So it's because we're in the full moon. The Ace of Light is you've been training for this for lifetimes. Ace of Light. The Age of Light, I should say. 86. 86. Oh, you've been training for this for lifetimes. Mystics and sages throughout the ages have predicted this period in history, and you decide to incarnate in the middle of it. There is no mistake that you are supposed to be here at this time of great change. If you feel unprepared or daunted by the path that is calling you, know this. You've been training for this for lifetimes. You're way more than the days that have breathed life to you in this life. You're also all of the lifetimes that came before you. All of your ancestors' experience, all of these experiences have polished your soul into the most magnificent expression that is your authentic self. Now I've got Egyptian lineage here because I'm seeing a pyramid. You may have past lives in Egypt, and I've always felt that I had a past life in Egypt. I was on an altar and I was talking with all these people. It was in a pyramid, I can swear it was dark, and there's this massive people that were around, and I was talking to them. I came out of a bathroom vanity, whatever you would call it. I was in purple robes, and I was addressing the whole crowd about something, I don't know what. And then there was this person in green that was my healer. He came in to help me off the stage. So past life was a real thing for me. Your soul has many facets, and imagine a fingerprint. Your soul is a million times more intricate than that. If you put together all of the fingerprints of all the people you have been, you would not even get close to fathoming how much of a unique masterpiece you are. You came in with a very clear soul plan. You came in with wisdom beyond your years. This is the part of you that longs to be seen. This is the part of you that is ready to step forward. This is ready to emerge. This is not the lifetime to stay hidden, but to step forth and be seen and rise. I call forth the soul gifts and soul training that I've received throughout all of my lifetimes. I am ready to embody them all. Now, without hesitation, without fear, I've been training for this for lifetimes. That's a beautiful thing to say. The awakening is the rising, the astral, which is what I do. I astral travel all the time. Over time, over distance of space-time continuum. I'm astral traveling between worlds, between the 5D and the 3D, the things that have already passed, the people that have already passed over. I sometimes get images of them as well. And what's going to come for me. I get told. I did a reading the other day and I picked up that my grandfather's on his way to another lifetime. He's lost his wife. Well, I'm still grieving her. And he's about to go. And I was told in a reading he's got 3 weeks left. I hope that's not the case. But, you know, you can't keep people bound and they've got to move forward. They've been called from the other side. That's what I believe. Awakening, it's 90. Nana was called months before she went. I wasn't even speaking to my mum at the time. We were fighting, and as we always do, we don't get along. And I had the ring that she wore. That was her mother's ring, which means Uncle Robert came through, and he said to me, "I'm coming for her." I said, "I know." And he said, "Well, I'm letting you know. She's coming with me very soon. I've come to collect." I couldn't wear the ring after that. I was too upset. Energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. You are going through a period of awakening. Things are changing within you and at many levels. You're starting to remember ancient truths and discovering more and more about who you are and why you incarnated. You may find that you are experiencing past life flashbacks, seeing the invisible thread that is woven through all of life, or even feeling Kundalini Skati rise through your body from the base of your spine. The most important thing for this time is not to overthink it and to stay grounded. Share your experiences with like soul people. While you consciously integrate them, journal and pay attention to your dreams. You are remembering, and your soul gifts are emerging. During this time of transition and awakening, you may be called to devote yourself to being of service. There are ideas, truths, concepts, books, and creations waiting to be birthed into this world. You may have to write a book about what you've done or what you've seen. Stay open to receiving them. Pulling this card may be a sign that you are here to birth one of those creations into the world. Perhaps you're being called to make a shift in your life in order to be of service. Don't think too much about it. Instead, repeat the following. Work your light activation. Hold the card on your heart and say, "I surrender to my awakening. I allow the Skati energy to rise from the base of my spine. I open myself up to the universe, using me in a way that delights my mind, body, and spirit." And that's all I have for you today for water signs. Thank you.